If you're over 60 and living in America, chances are you've been told to cut salt from your diet. Your doctor probably warned you about high blood pressure. Maybe your spouse is monitoring every grain of salt that goes into your food. Perhaps you've been proudly avoiding the salt shaker for months, even years, thinking you're protecting your heart. But what if I told you that this well-intentioned advice might actually be putting your life in danger? Every single day, thousands of American seniors end up in emergency rooms across our great nation. From Miami to Seattle, from New York to Los Angeles, the same tragic story unfolds. These aren't people who binged on fast food or ignored their health. These are responsible seniors who followed their doctor's orders to the letter. They cut salt completely, thinking they were being good patients. Instead, they ended up collapsing in their kitchens, falling in their gardens, or worse. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Phoenix, Arizona. For 8 months, she followed her cardiologist's advice religiously. No salt on her eggs, no seasoning on her vegetables, bland food became her new normal. Margaret was proud of her discipline. She thought she was winning the battle against heart disease. Then one Tuesday morning, while watering her roses, she collapsed. The paramedics found her unconscious, her blood pressure dangerously low. At the hospital, doctors discovered something shocking. Margaret's sodium levels had dropped so low that her brain was literally shutting down. The very diet meant to protect her heart nearly killed her. Margaret's story isn't unique. It's happening in retirement communities from Florida to California. In fact, according to recent research from major American medical centers, we're facing a hidden epidemic. Seniors are being hospitalized not because they're eating too much salt, but because they're eating too little. The Mayo Clinic now considers low blood sodium in older adults a medical emergency. Think about that for a moment. The institution we trust most is telling us that too little salt can be just as deadly as too much. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Drop your city or state in the comments below. I always love seeing how far our community is reaching. Section 1, the shocking medical evidence that changes everything. Here's something that will shock you to your core. Harvard Medical School published a study that turned everything we thought we knew about salt upside down. They followed people with heart failure, the exact patients doctors tell to avoid salt at all costs. What they discovered was absolutely terrifying. Seniors who restricted their sodium intake had a 160% higher risk of death. Let me repeat that. Following strict low-salt advice actually increased their chances of dying by more than half. This isn't some small study from an unknown university. This is Harvard. These are the doctors who train other doctors. And they're telling us that our salt-phobic approach might be killing American seniors. The American Medical Association's Internal Medicine Journal published research following older adults for years. The results were so alarming that many doctors are quietly changing their recommendations. Seniors with extremely low sodium intake showed no protective benefits whatsoever. Dr. Sarah Chen from Johns Hopkins Hospital sees this pattern every single day. Seniors come in confused, dizzy, barely conscious. Their families are terrified, thinking it's a stroke or heart attack. But blood tests reveal the real culprit: dangerously low sodium levels from following well-intentioned but potentially deadly no-salt advice. We're talking about thousands of American seniors every month who are literally following themselves into the hospital. When you drastically cut salt after 60, your body goes into crisis mode. Your kidneys, which might not be functioning as efficiently as they did when you were 40, struggle to maintain proper fluid balance. Your blood pressure can drop too low, leaving you dizzy and vulnerable to dangerous falls. Your heart rhythm can become irregular because sodium is essential for proper electrical conduction. Most frightening of all, your brain function suffers when electrolyte balance is disrupted. The Mayo Clinic now trains their emergency room staff to immediately suspect low sodium when seniors come in with confusion, falls, or sudden weakness. Last month alone, I receive dozens of emails from American seniors sharing their stories. Robert from Michigan had been restricting salt for 2 years, eating only 800 milligrams per day. Then he fell 3 times in 1 month. His doctor discovered his sodium levels were dangerously low. These stories are playing out in every state, in every community. Have you experienced symptoms since cutting back on salt? Share your experience in the comments below. Section 2, Warning Signs Your Body is Crying for Salt. Your body has an amazing ability to communicate with you, but as we age, we often dismiss its messages as just part of getting older. What if many of the symptoms you've been attributing to aging might actually be your body's desperate cry for help? What if your dizziness, your fatigue, your confusion aren't inevitable parts of growing older, but warning signs that your sodium levels are dangerously low? Let's start with the most common sign, orthostatic hypotension. That's getting dizzy when you stand up. You're sitting comfortably watching TV, you get up to answer the phone, and suddenly the room spins. You grab the nearest chair to steady yourself. Your doctor might have told you it's just your blood pressure adjusting, just part of aging. But what if it's not? When your sodium levels drop too low, your blood volume decreases. There simply isn't enough fluid in your circulatory system to maintain proper pressure when you change positions. Then there's the fatigue. Not the kind of tired you feel after a busy day. I'm talking about bone-deep exhaustion that makes simple tasks feel overwhelming. You used to enjoy gardening, but now just thinking about it makes you tired. You used to walk around the neighborhood, but now you can barely make it to the mailbox. Your muscles might feel weak, especially in your legs. You might get cramps that seem to come from nowhere. This isn't normal aging, this could be your body telling you something important. The cognitive symptoms are perhaps the most frightening. Are you feeling foggy? Having trouble concentrating on simple tasks? Maybe your memory seems worse than usual. Your family might notice personality changes. You're more irritable than normal, more confused about things that used to be simple. These symptoms can sneak up on you slowly. You might not even realize they're happening, but your loved ones notice the difference. Heart palpitations are another warning sign. Your heart might feel like it's racing or skipping beats during normal activities. Some people experience chest discomfort after they start restricting salt. Your heart needs proper electrolyte balance to maintain its rhythm, and sodium is crucial for that electrical system. Betty from Texas wrote to tell me her story. She'd been following a strict low-salt diet for 10 months, feeling proud of her discipline. But she kept feeling dizzy and confused. Her doctor kept saying it was just her age. Finally, a blood test revealed the truth: her sodium levels were dangerously low. She could have prevented months of suffering if she'd recognized these warning signs earlier. Take a moment right now. Have you experienced any of these symptoms since cutting back on salt? Your dizziness, your fatigue, your confusion, could it be connected to your low-salt diet? Don't dismiss these signs as normal aging. Your body might be trying to save your life. Tell us in the comments what symptoms you've noticed. Section 3, The Science of Safe Sodium for Seniors. Here's the truth: your body needs sodium to survive, but how much? According to Harvard School of Public Health, your body requires about 500 milligrams of sodium daily just for basic functions. But that's just the bare minimum, what your body needs to not shut down. Thriving? That's a completely different number. The National Institute on Aging recommends adults over 51 aim for no more than 2,300 milligrams daily. That's about 1 teaspoon of salt, not the tiny pinch you've been using. Wait, there's more. The American Heart Association says 1,500 milligrams is ideal, but they acknowledge this may not apply to everyone. Recent research suggests something even more surprising. For healthy seniors, 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams may be optimal for maintaining proper blood pressure and heart function. Does that shock you? You've probably been eating far less than that. Here's what's dangerous: some trendy diets recommend as little as 500 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium daily for seniors. This is playing with fire. Studies show that going below 1,500 mg without medical supervision can trigger those dangerous symptoms we just discussed: the dizziness, the confusion, the heart problems. Why is there so much confusion about salt? Salt sensitivity varies dramatically between people. About 25% of people are truly salt sensitive. Their blood pressure responds strongly to sodium changes. But for the other 75%, extreme restriction may do more harm than good. Think about that: 3 out of 4 people are restricting salt unnecessarily, maybe even dangerously. Your individual sodium needs depend on several factors. Your medications matter, especially blood pressure and heart medications. Your activity level matters. If you sweat, you lose sodium. The climate where you live makes a difference. If you're on diuretics, you might need more salt than someone who isn't. If you live in Florida and walk outside every day, you're losing sodium through sweat. Think of sodium like Goldilocks: not too much, not too little, but just right for your body. For most healthy seniors, this sweet spot is around 2,000 to 2,300 mg daily. Let me put this in perspective: 2,300 mg of sodium equals about 1 teaspoon of table salt for the entire day. That includes what's naturally in foods and what you add during cooking. 1 teaspoon for the whole day. Have you been eating much less than that? The goal isn't to eat as little salt as possible. The goal is to find your optimal amount based on your individual health profile, medications, and lifestyle. What's your current sodium intake? Have you been restricting below these recommended levels? Share in the comments how much salt you think you're getting daily. Section 4: Smart Sodium Strategy for Healthy Seniors. Instead of eliminating salt completely, follow what I call the 80-20 rule. 80% of your sodium should come from whole, natural foods, only 20% from processed sources. Why? Because not all sodium is created equal. Natural sources like sea salt and pink Himalayan salt, used moderately, are what your body knows how to handle. Nutrient-dense foods naturally contain beneficial sodium: fish, dairy, vegetables. Your body processes these efficiently. But here's what you absolutely need to avoid: processed foods, canned soups, deli meats, fast food. These don't just contain excessive sodium, they're loaded with unhealthy additives your body struggles to process. Let me show you what a smart day looks like. Breakfast might be 2 eggs with avocado toast, about 340 mg of sodium. Lunch could be grilled chicken salad with olive oil dressing, around 300 mg. Dinner might be baked salmon with roasted vegetables, lightly seasoned, about 400 mg. Add some snacks like Greek yogurt and fresh fruit, maybe 200 mg. Total, about 1,240 mg. Add a little cooking salt and you're in the ideal range. Here's kitchen wisdom that will change everything: cook at home whenever possible so you control the salt. Use herbs and spices to enhance flavor naturally. Garlic, rosemary, lemon juice make food delicious without overdoing sodium. Read labels but don't obsess over every milligram. Listen to your body's cravings, they're often right. If you're suddenly craving something salty, your body might be telling you something important. The key is monitoring how you feel rather than counting every milligram. Are you energetic? Is your blood pressure stable? Are you avoiding those warning signs we discussed? That's your best guide. Before making major changes to your sodium intake, especially if you're on blood pressure medications, have an honest conversation with your healthcare provider about your individual needs. However, if you have severe heart failure, advanced kidney disease, or uncontrolled high blood pressure, you may need stricter sodium limits. But this should always be medically supervised. Don't guess about your needs, get personalized guidance, because when it comes to your heart health, one size definitely doesn't fit all. What does your typical daily sodium intake look like? Are you cooking at home or relying on processed foods? Let us know in the comments. Section 5: Who really needs to limit salt and who doesn't? Not everyone needs to restrict salt dramatically. In fact, for many seniors, extreme restriction is downright dangerous. So who really needs to limit salt? People with severe heart failure with fluid retention, those with advanced chronic kidney disease, if you have uncontrolled hypertension despite medication, or certain liver conditions with ascites. Are you dealing with any of these specific conditions? But here's who shouldn't restrict extremely: healthy older adults with normal blood pressure. If you're on blood pressure medications and your pressure is well controlled, active seniors who sweat regularly, or anyone with a history of low sodium levels. Does that describe you? Sodium needs are highly individual. What works for your neighbor might not work for you. You wouldn't take the same medication dose as your neighbor, so why would sodium be any different? If you're taking diuretics, ACE inhibitors, or other heart medications, your sodium needs may be different. Some medications actually increase your risk of low sodium, making extreme restriction even more dangerous. Linda from Oregon learned this the hard way. She was on a diuretic for blood pressure. Her doctor told her to cut salt, so she cut it dramatically. Within months she was dizzy, confused, and falling regularly. Her sodium levels had dropped to dangerous levels. The smartest strategy? Work with your healthcare team to determine your personal sodium target based on your medications, health conditions, and how your body responds. Don't guess, don't follow generic advice. Get personalized guidance. Remember, the goal isn't following a one-size-fits-all rule, it's finding your optimal level for your unique situation. Think about your current health status. Do you have any of the conditions that require strict sodium restriction? Or are you possibly restricting unnecessarily? What medications are you taking that might affect your sodium needs? Share your situation in the comments. Your experience might help other seniors understand their own needs better. Section 6. Your personal action plan for heart-healthy living. What do you do with all this information? Let me give you a clear action plan you can start today. First, assess your current intake by tracking what you eat for 3 days. Are you under 1,500 milligrams? That might be too low and potentially dangerous. Second, monitor your symptoms using that warning signs checklist we discussed. Don't brush off dizziness when standing or unexplained fatigue as just getting older. Third, check your blood pressure both sitting and standing. This can detect those dangerous drops we talked about. Fourth, review your medications. Some actually increase your risk of low sodium. Do you know if yours do? Here's what you should monitor monthly: your blood pressure with home monitoring, your weight stability because sudden changes can indicate fluid imbalance, your energy levels and cognitive clarity, and your overall well-being and appetite. Annually, get a complete metabolic panel including sodium levels, review your medications with your doctor, assess your blood pressure patterns, and check your kidney function. If you're concerned about getting enough sodium, focus on natural food sources first. Supplements aren't usually necessary and can be dangerous without medical supervision. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Small, sustainable changes in how you approach sodium will serve you much better than dramatic restrictions you can't maintain. Think marathon, not sprint. Sarah from Wisconsin wrote to tell me her story. She'd been restricting salt for years. After learning this information, she gradually increased her sodium to 2,000 milligrams daily. Her energy returned, her dizziness stopped, and her doctor was amazed at her improvement. The bottom line: don't let fear drive your food choices. Let science guide you, let your body inform you, and let qualified healthcare providers support you. Remember, the goal isn't to fear sodium, it's to respect it. Your body needs this essential mineral to function properly, especially as you age. The key is finding the right balance for your unique situation. What's your plan moving forward? Will you track your current sodium intake? Will you discuss this with your doctor? Have you been restricting salt too dramatically? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your story could help another senior avoid a dangerous health crisis and live their healthiest life after 60.